as you may notice. Got some wacky artwork behind me today. I am in Lisle, Illinois on a work trip. Got my trusty Indulgence with me. Did get stopped by TSA this morning at the airport. Tossed the Indulgence in the tray with everything else in my pocket, my wallet and everything, and they stopped it, grabbed me for a bag check. Explained to them, just said, it's a personal vaporizer. They said, all right, we've got to check it out. I said, it's just to help me keep from smoking. And they took it and they swabbed it down with something and ran it under a quick little scanner. Said, is this one of those artificial cigarettes? I said, it certainly is. I can show you how it works if you like. He said, nope, not necessary. Everything checks out. You're good to go. Thanks for leaving it out. They actually did make a point of thanking me for taking it out of my pocket and putting it in the tray. So just a word of advice there, too. Switching juices right now. Things are starting to get a little funny. Got the low resistance Atty on here today. This is a low resistance Atty that I've actually removed the wick from, and I love that. Oh man, that's made a huge difference. So if you haven't done it, I highly suggest, if you're a dripper, that you remove that wick. It makes a big difference. My draw is better. I don't get that really nasty burnt taste. It came out pretty easy considering that it's a used Atty. Hit up YouTube, check out a video by a guy named Fee. That's who showed me how to do it. It's super easy. If you've got a toothpick or a bobby pin, which is actually what I used, and it just came right out in one piece, it's the way to go. But today I wanted to talk about kind of cleaning and caring for your Atty a little bit. What I've done is I've taken this off and I've blown it out, and this thing is bone dry right now. So even if I were to try and vape this, nothing's going to happen. And next to me here, I've got a Kleenex. So what I started by doing is just I took it out and I just blew in actually the mouthpiece end here and just blew until nothing was coming out. Gave it a few fires, pulled it out, and blew through it again. What I find is that when I go to clean out an Atty real good, what I'll do is I'll start by getting it completely dry. So what I'll do is I'll blow it out, put it on, give it a couple bursts, and that's going to heat up and actually make any other juice that's in there a little bit thinner. So it's going to continue to come out as it heats up because it's going to expand a little bit. It'll be a little thinner. So I actually blew that out then after I did some burst firing, and then just gave it a few quick bursts and just continued to blow in it. This thing's completely bone dry. What's going to happen here is that if I fire this for a couple of seconds, it's actually going to glow red right on the coil. You want to do that. I like to do it every couple of days, once a week for sure. You got to be real careful though. You do this too long, you're going to blow out the heating coil. Okay. So the reason you want to do that is that down there in the bottom on that tiny little heating coil, gunk's going to build up. It's going to be, juice, especially if you vape a lot of dark juices. This is something that I really wanted to put on film for you guys because I struggled with this when I first started vaping a couple of months ago, and actually had to PM Scottbee over at the ECF and have him walk me through it because I, for the life of me, couldn't get this to work. The trick here, your atomizer has to be completely dry. Absolutely dry. It's going to work slightly different with the low resistance Atty. You might be able to get it to glow a little bit before it's completely dry. This one's completely dry, so I'm going to show you what happens here. I'm going to go ahead and hit this, and this is going right now. And what you'll be able to see here is that if you look real close, you can see there's a little bit of smoke coming out. I'm going to let that cool for a second here. You could feel when your Atty's nice and dry, it shouldn't get too hot to the touch. If you've got a lot of juice in your Atty, that's when it's going to really start burning hot, and you could really run into trouble. You could even burn yourself, I suppose, if it gets hot enough, though I've never gotten one quite that hot. But check this out. So here it is. Let me get it fired up for you here. And see how it's glowing nice and orange in there? Now you can see there's a little bit of stuff coming out. And a lot of what that is just gunk burning off my heating coil. Okay, I've been vaping a lot of dark juices, a lot of cappuccino, cafe macchiato from Tasty Vapor, Dad's Vapor cappuccino over the weekend. So a lot of dark stuff's been in here. So I'm giving it a real good clean here. So I'll do it one more time for you and try to really get it nice and close up. See how it's nice and red? Now you don't want to do this too long. Okay, if you get it to glow that hot that long with no juice in here, you really could pop the heating coil, and then your atomizer is going to be completely useless. So you might want to try this with some old gunked up Attys. Pull that wick out too while you're at it. It's a really great step, especially if you're a dripper and you've got yourself a drip tip or two like I do. Okay. Now we've burnt all that stuff off the coil. What we're going to want to do, and I've got just a little bit of water here. I'll pour out a little bit more into a glass, is you can let this soak for a little bit. Just use clean water. I don't use any other chemicals, Coca-Cola, alcohol, denture cleaner, any of that other stuff in my atomizers. Some people swear by those techniques. If you can get them to work for you, that's great. I don't want to drag my laptop over the sink, so we're just going to do it this way. I'm just going to kind of let this, and you can hear it, just clinking it around here, sloshing it around a bit. And let me pull this out of here. Hopefully I can do it without making too big of a mess. It's at the bottom. Oh, come on. My fingers are too fat for this little glass. Oh. There we go. Through the magic of Windows Movie Maker. We'll make that look a lot easier than it was. So I've got it out of the glass here. Here's Kleenex. Now what you want to do is you want to get this fairly dry again. So I'm just going to blow through it. And again, I'm just blowing through the mouth, and you can put more air through it that way. I will end up wiping out the inside, so I'll just wad up this Kleenex and stick it right in here and carefully move it around. Be real careful. You don't want to jam anything in here too hard. You could mess up the bridge there. When it gets to a point where you've got it pretty dry, you're good to go. You can give it a couple of quick bursts, and that'll usually dry it out a little bit more, especially if it's a low resistance atomizer. Now, you usually want to do this under running water. After you've done that nice hot red dry burn that's gotten this thing red hot glowing, you do want to make sure you wash it out. What's going to happen is that some of that stuff's really going to burn off. You could get some kind of ashy, just really disgusting taste in here. So you want to make sure you get it nice and clean. You can hear it again now. It sounds like it's vaping. There is still just some water in here, so I'll give it a couple quick bursts. It smells nice and clean. And I'm just going to blow this out a little bit more. Got a couple drops out, not a whole lot. There is going to still be some water caught in that wire mesh. It's in there around the heating coil. It's part of the bridge there. So I've got some Alien Visions Better Butter Rum. This is the PG VG blended version, so it's not straight VG like a lot of the Alien Vision stuff is. Put in about 4 drops here. Let it burn for a second. Get a little blow, make sure that all the juice got in the drip tip there. It's a little bit messy. And you can see I'm already back in vaping. It's that easy. Bam. It is that easy. This is a great step. Be real careful, though. You might want to try this with some old atomizers that you're not worried about wrecking. Like I said, I haven't seen a lot of people put together a dry burn video. I'm sure they're out there, so if you've got one that's out there and it's probably better than mine, wouldn't take very much to have put together a better video than this. Go ahead, give it a go. I do highly recommend you do this about once a week, or if you notice that your vapor production is really trailing off and you've checked to make sure you've got fresh batteries, you've got juice in here, and you're just not getting much out, you're starting to lose flavor, you're starting to taste multiple flavors. Sometimes will happen too, because you've got so much gunk built up in here that a bunch of different stuff is getting vaporized. And it's that simple, guys. Coming at you. Hopefully I get some more videos out this week. And vape on, vape away. Have a good one.